Chapman's comments to Voight in Chicago PD Season 12, Episode 22, titled Vows, demonstrate that she is wrong about who she believes him to be. Chicago PD Season 12's strongest arc involved Voight's, Jason Burr, attempts to expose Deputy Chief Charlie Reed, Sean Hattersey, as a corrupt cop who has ties to local gang leaders, while Reed used his power to spy on Voight and ultimately attempt to disband the intelligence unit so that he could continue his unsanctioned operations without interference. Vows features the climax of that arc, with Voight and his team working in secret to neutralize Reed. ASA Chapman, who recently began dating Voight, doesn't like his plans and worries that he's allowing Reed to drag him down to his level, especially after Reed is assassinated near the end of the Chicago PD Season 12 finale. However, Chapman is a recent addition to the Chicago PD cast and is unaware of Voight's true nature. Chapman says that Voight's actions in the Chicago PD Season 12 finale are uncharacteristic. She has an inaccurate idea about who he is. Voight and Chapman in Chicago PD Season 12. Chapman's perspective is that Voight allowed himself to spiral because of the conflict with Reed. She thinks violence, bending the law, and doing morally questionable things in the name of justice are not Voight's true character. Although she knows that he used to be the type of man who would use every tool at his disposal, legal or not, to achieve his objective of getting criminals off the streets, Chapman believes Voight has changed and is disappointed and upset by how he handles Reed's interference. Chapman and Voight were originally partners in bringing Reed down legally, but Voight shut her out because he knew he had to resort to illegal activity. Thus, it doesn't take Chapman long to realize that Voight arranged Reed's murder. This could be a problem for Voight legally if Chapman chooses to open an investigation. It is also a problem for their relationship, as she cannot condone his actions and labels them as out of character and inappropriate. However, Chapman's assessment is incorrect. She has only been in Chicago PD since Season 9. In reality, Voight was initially considered a crooked cop before being spun off into his own series where he was defined as someone who often did the wrong thing for the right reason. Will classic Voight continue to be present in Chicago PD Season 13? It's likely he will be more like he used to, but not completely. Voight has now shown that he is still capable of being the way he used to be, so it's likely that Chicago PD Season 13 will feature his tendency to act outside the law when needed to a greater degree than the past few seasons have done. He may also need to use violence to protect his team from the fallout after Reed's death or from another enemy who is trying to interfere with his operations. It would not make sense for Voight to completely abandon his tendency to bend and break rules now that it has resurfaced. Since Voight arranged Reed's murder, it's possible that Season 13 will include a retribution story. If that happens, Voight will not hesitate to use violence to protect the people who work under him. Reed had ties to gang members and other violent criminals, so someone may seek revenge against Voight and his team or attempt to assassinate Rennie, the actual murderer. That said, it's likely that Voight will never return fully to the way he was in his classic era. Police dramas like Chicago PD need to be sensitive to real-world issues associated with police violence, as there has been a backlash in recent years against shows that are viewed as glamorizing or condoning corruption or violence against citizens. Thus, Voight will likely occupy the middle ground between his original character and the more mellow version who has been featured in recent years.